getting out the door here. Seems like everything's on. Now everything's on. Oh, people are here. Shit. Chris, what's up? Morning, Bruce, and everyone. Is that Pistol Pete Worldwide? What? I can't see the fucking... It is. Is your match going to be streamed live? No, it ain't going to be streamed live. I got to do the match. I can't be doing this shit. Thank you, Pete. So, yeah, I'm just rolling up the driveway here. And, hold on. Safety first. Yeah, I'm barely awake. I would say even saying I'm awake is a stretch. But I'm dressed, mostly. So there'll be some wind noise. I ain't trying to hotbox myself to death here. This morning we're smoking a CAO La Anniversaire Cameroon Robusto. Basically just a nice Cameroon medium smoke. No, you can't stream that live because you can't show people holding guns, and there's a lot of guns being held. Well, it could work, and because, well, except for the guy who's shooting, because it's cold range. The only person who's got a hot weapon is the guy who's shooting. This is PCSL. These guys take their camo game very seriously, I gotta say. So, like, I go to most of it, like the long distance events. Everybody shows up in jeans and a hoodie, but PCSL, these guys are serious with the camo game, plates, helmets. There's some active military guys there at the last one with the night vision, which is like mystical. That shit's crazy. If it wasn't for the chem lights that we wear, so you can see the participants, they'd be invisible. But they've got a full field of view and the night vision and IR lasers. It's a whole other level of warfare, basically. Like, if you don't have night vision, stay home and hide if the shit hits the fan, because people are just fucking fooling themselves thinking they got what it takes, because they don't. White light, weapon lights is like basically desperation levels of participation compared to IR and night vision. Now, 37 degrees. It's not raining. In fact, everything's dry. It's shocking. And I just realized I got all my shit together, but I didn't get any fuel, and so we are going to put some fucking diesel in this bitch. What are we going to do? 3 fighting? Twee is here. Woohoo! The stream queen is here. I'm sorry if I'm missing your comments. I'm trying to drive this thing. and not die in a fiery crash. It is a little sad to me that I'm awake at 7:34 on a Sunday morning. But it is what it is. Hold on, be right back. I gotta stick the fucking thing in there. I don't remember who was that said that diesel gets good mileage. This thing does not get good mileage. Right. Well, we'll keep the live stream. Yeah, we'll just not mention that part. Let's see. Yeah, white light of desperation is what my wallet feels. So, yeah, well, night vision would be a whole other, like you're looking at 10, 20 grand easy for a helmet, night vision, IR lasers. I mean, I suppose you could do it for under 10, but it's still a ridiculous amount of money for basically, prepping. Or not. Most of us are not pro soldiers here. So, we ain't getting paid to do this. But the Army guys come to these events and train. To the night event I'm talking about. The night event was very eye-opening because you just watch it. If they didn't have the chem lights, you wouldn't see them at all. And, and they're functioning in basically grayscale daylight. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. But it looks real cool when you pop your white light on and shoot the shit. I just put a new rifle light on my what do you call them? I say my duty weapon, but my ARs ain't duty level. They're just solid. They're home built solid guns, but that run. So anyhow, but I, it's a good time to find, because I was running pistol lights on the front of the AR, because you could just like flip, you just toggle them on instead of having the whole pressure switch thing. But my pistol lights couldn't make it out to a 50-yard steel target, and so I basically had to take I had to scratch that fucking stage. I wasn't really going, so I ended up getting some Olight Odins, and we'll see if those things work. Only thing Jersey is good for is you don't have to pump your own gas all year, which is nice during the winter. Well, dude, you're in Jersey. Which exit? What's good, everyone? Christopher Lewis, what have you won lately? Bruce, Christopher, pleasure to have you here. Welcome. That was 30 gallons of diesel at $5 a gallon. And my gauge says I get 18.5 miles to the gallon, and which isn't bad for an 8,500-pound truck. But I remember the last time I had a diesel, my last one was a Power Stroke Excursion, and that bitch got like 26 miles to the gallon. So what the fuck is going on here? Is that the Hulk? Well, sort of. Bruce Banner, close enough. I'm not angry. I'm way too sleepy to be angry. But you wouldn't like me if I was angry. So it's going to get hard for me to read the comments because I'm driving. Exit 185, 187, 189 on the turnpike, of course. You do always talk about the turnpike, but I'm not from Jersey. That's like my one Jersey joke that I know that I'm sure is massively overplayed. Oh, you're from Jersey? Which exit? Right. Okay. Now, I feel like I missed my calling and should have been cast on The Sopranos. It'd been like the perfect role for me. Yo, Paulie. Anyhow, where is Paulie Walnuts with us? EDC, welcome in. Man, you went late last night, brother. You were killing it hard. You're working hard at this YouTube business. This ain't a business for me. This is a hobby. It's just, and I love this cadre of gun tubers that are rolling around together because you guys are awesome. It's like having a whole friend network. We got to figure out. I'm sure that it's pretty easy to do, like doing split screens and like doing like putting like basically like a conference call kind of deal where we could have like 4 or 6 guys up at once and just have a bullshitting conversation because that could be really fun. And also because it's really annoying doing fucking monologuing for 3 hours at a time. Or whatever, 12 hours like you do it. Yeah, you had a good stream last night. Well, it'd be a lot of fun because then you get the interaction of all these guys together and you get some good conversations going and maybe really good advice, for people instead of, because one person, you get a bigger, fuller picture of, multiple ideas. Each person's got a bit of good advice on each subject, but it's not. I don't know. I'm looking at. I'm going downhill. I'm looking at the layer of fog covering the valley. Here, let me see if I don't know. Could you all see that? And as you can tell, I'm driving downhill, so I'll possibly be in that fog in a minute, but I'm going to head out. So we're heading west, and that's a north-south valley. Oh, no, it definitely looks like I'm heading down in it. But then I'll be heading out northeast up into the mountains, or the hills anyway. Not quite here, that's better. Were you all able to see that? because that looked ominous. Anybody here? Or y'all bail out? UDC, you still here? Or you like just stopping in for a sec before you start your first of your 24 hours of 18 hours of nearly nonstop streaming for the day? You see that? I thought that looked cool. I don't know how that looked on the camera though. MC Donald Soldier. I don't know what that means. KFC special. Oh yeah, dude, this is LARPing, baby. You know, this is the gayest fucking thing. Other than how fun it is running around shooting your ARs in, you know, essentially shoot houses. The LARPing game is seriously gay. You know, if you don't have half decent camo, they will ridicule you. I think they should be given out, in addition to, you know, best score on hit factor, I think they should be giving out a best dressed man and best dressed woman award for the people whose camo is the most on point. You could have like a most authentic, which the Army guys would probably win, but you know, you could have different categories for how cool the camo is. You know, you don't have to be fat. Well, you see, actually, I'm down 50 pounds in about 6 months, so I know I don't have to be fat. But you don't have to be rude. Now, I'm not offended. I couldn't give a fuck. But you see that thing where you think you can go online and make rude comments to people? That's who you are, man. That is who you are as a human being, is that you're a fucking douche. And it ain't gonna work out for you. I mean, you think it's all cute and funny and shit, but and look, and I promise you, I'm not mad. I couldn't give a fuck what you think or say, but that piece of your character that makes you think this is okay, or that you're, you know, just fucking with people or trolling or whatever, that's who you are, bro. You got nothing. You don't have nothing better than that. Or just something's broken about you that that makes you think it's okay, and it's just a piece of your utter failure in life and as a human, and why you don't have good relationships with amazing people, and your fucking life is broken, and your personality is broken, and your girlfriend or boyfriend is, you know, those relationships don't work out and they kick you to the curb and move on, is because you're dog shit. But anyhow, moving right along, Chris, let's see. I'm down at 20 in a month, but up 30 in the same month. I feel you on that, bro. So Thanksgiving, Halloween makes it hard, especially for if you like to eat. But man, there's like a sort of a difference, and I don't know if this will make sense to anyone, but I discovered this lately after being increasingly fatter for the last few decades. Is there's a difference between being hungry and having the desire to like grind and eat, you know? So like for me, the way I have gotten fatter over the years is, or put on weight or whatever you want to say, is we have like a snack table or, a counter, and it's got a bunch of snacks on it. Every time I pass it, I grab an Oreo or whatever. And what I've discovered recently is you don't need that much food to survive. So, or I don't know about surviving, but basically, like, I just don't eat anymore. I might have a bar for breakfast, like a Costco kind bar or something, or one of those round PB&J breakfast bars, and I don't eat anything until dinner, and then I eat dinner and maybe, have a little ice cream cone because my wife likes those drumsticks. So and still I've been losing 5 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds, 3, 4, 5 pounds a week. Some weeks only 1 or 2. It was hard. Like I was stuck at like 265 for a long time, and finally broke through that and got down to 255, and and I'm losing again, so that's really good. Well, kablamo! I was thinking about you last night. You reloading monsters. I just put primers on my first 9 rounds of 6 Creedmoor, and I think tonight I'm gonna fill the cases and put the bullets in. I did like 10 rounds of 6.5 Grendel last week, and they shot terribly. Oop, that was not the answer. I put them on the chrono, and they were really far apart, so I figure I got to get better at something. And I'm using a digital powder measure, so I don't think it's the measurements. I think it might have to do with the bullet seating depth, because I think the cases were all cut to the right, within the spec, but I think there might have been too much variation between them, and I didn't measure the overall bullets. I just started with a live round, quantity round, measured that to set my overall case measurement, and a case and bullet final measurement, and then I measured the first few and didn't measure any after that. But I'm guessing what's creating is the difference in the case size is changing the bullet seating depth from round to round. I don't know. It's a theory, but I'm hoping it gets better because I want to get some good consistent rounds. Emma, welcome in. Chris, I don't know if any of the shit I just said made sense. The factory 6.5 Grendel be longer. I don't know why that is. Factory. I checked the load data and I measured the size of the round, and that's just how we set up the die. And then I measured the first few rounds that came out for their overall length. But because there's probably a couple of hundredths on the finished cases, like I just made sure, like when I chamfered and deburred the cases, that my final length on the cases was to spec, but I think there might be too much variation between them. So when I set the bullets and have a good overall length, there's probably a variation of a couple of hundredths, certainly a bunch of thousandths. So the overall length is the same, but because the overall case length is different, it's going to create. I probably need a better tighter tolerances on the cases. So I'm going to do a bunch of cases tonight, maybe. It's either with Chief Ammo. Who's here? Chris, have you won anything lately? push my projectile in a little extra. That's what she said. So what does that do? It gives you extra pressure, or does it cause extra pressure and more velocity, or does it make it harder for the bullet to get out of the case, so it slows it down a little bit? And now the fog is starting to thicken up a bit. Is that a turtle comment? Dallas Bars, welcome in, brother. Man, I am thinking you must have had the awesome Thanksgiving. I would have loved to have seen some grill pictures or some food pictures. I didn't see a lot of pictures of people's feasts, but there's some people on here who really know how to cook. My wife killed it with the Thanksgiving feasts. Her family came over. Her turkey was perfect. The whole thing was insane. Hope y'all had good Thanksgivings. It does produce a little extra pressure. So I have a velocity cap of 3,200 on any round for PRS. I don't think I have, there's no velocity cap for the 600-yard bench rest, but for PRS there's a 3,200 foot per second cap on any round. If they measure you and you're over, they'll send you home. And 6 Creedmoor is like a 3,000. I think I'm running anywhere from, I'm not saying these are my velocities. I think we're at like 2960 up to about 315, 320 is what I remember off the chrono. But it just seems like there's not a lot of breathing room on that round to get hotter. And I think for long distance, you want to go, on the low end on your velocity. You want to get your distance, but you're not looking for penetration like a hunting round. You're looking to have the gun recoil less so you can see your hits on target. So I don't feel like there's a ton of room with that with 6mm Creedmoor, but like with 6GT, that's I think a 2,650 foot per second round or something like that. There's a lot of room to play with your velocity. Smith Custom, welcome in. Hey, I'm sure y'all are sub, but if anybody's not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Just got to remember to say that. Good cigar, very medium, nice tasty, not too spicy, not too strong. I was just thinking, it's like, man, I could be sleeping right now. Be home in bed. Temperature is 39 degrees. Blamo. The short version is that I'm just making my second batch of bullets, and I'm just going to pay a little more. Although I already prepped these cases, so they ain't going anywhere. But I might measure them a little bit and see what the range is on them, and then just be careful with my measurements. Pay attention to that. And then go shoot them and see what my velocity is, and see if it's getting any better. See if I'm on track, and then next batch pay good attention. 31 for me. $31 is colder. It's right below that magic number but as you can see through the sunroof, we got blue skies, or at least partially blue skies, which is nice for this area because usually it's raining this time of year. So what's everybody doing today? Anybody shooting? Anybody going to the range? Anybody got a contest? Kablamo, you got some kind of USPSA gig today? That's some kind of monster. All tastes like grapefruit to me. A lot of people up late on the lives are all probably sleeping in today. And I got to tell you, I mean, I'm not freezing, but I don't even know if I'll be cold today. Probably not. Hoping not. I mean, that's part of your deal, right? You go out and test your gear. And I got like insulated camo pants on and nice good undershirt and the jersey and then the whoopee. And I even have another like a gray crappy raincoat, but just put a little wind layer on this because I don't think it'll be windy. And I should be warm enough. But the thing about these events is that you're running around for 1 minute out of each hour, and then you're waiting because there's 65 guys, 4 squads, 15 dudes per squad, and it takes basically an hour, or 5 squads. It takes an hour to get through each stage, and you shoot for 1 minute. I'm signed up for today, then I'm signed up for next Saturday, and then the following Saturday, the 14th, is my last 600 yard of the year, and that's a Hamch Christmas ham. That's all the events I'm scheduling. And I don't think I'm putting hardly anything on in January. Maybe some long distance because I like that. So, but kind of rambling here. But basically, you have to find out if your gear is warm enough for For too warm for running around in, can you ventilate, and then warm it, which ain't going to be an issue for a 1 minute and 45-second stage, but then you got to hang out for 59 minutes before the next stage, and you find out if your shit's warm enough. But I did bring some really warm hunting gear, so if the multicam doesn't work out, I can switch over to hunting, which will throw everyone off. They'll be confused. And it ain't that it's camo at all, it's that it's the warmest shit that I have right now. You know, that's functional for athletic outdoor endeavors. I started buying like Strata from Cabela's, and I just started getting shit straight from True Timber. We're back. But yeah, I'm driving the mountains now, sort of, not really mountains, hills, whatever, foothills, to get to this range. It's a beautiful place that I won't be showing you. And you'll see the range on the video, but if I get to make video. There's a dude there who's like makes pro videos, like amazing volume. He did shoot that clip for me from a couple of weeks ago. But he was also running right out. He was running right after me, so he wasn't available to shoot because he shoot video because he was shooting. So I'll probably just like hit up someone and say, "Hey, bro, can you take some video of my run from somebody who's not like on deck while I'm shooting?" And it's a beautiful spot, but there's a creek on one side of it that's real pretty. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's in here, and just driving. How far is your drive this morning? So Google says about 48 minutes, probably about 35 miles, and we're getting pretty close. I think there's about another 15 minutes. I'm in the hills now, and yeah, but it's a nice drive. It ain't too bad. I know, like, in my mind, I'm pretty close, but it looks like there's about another 15 or 20 minutes left of the drive. But I don't, on the clock, but I'm thinking I'm like 10 minutes away. What a lack. Still here. Thanks, Smith. I'm, driving, so it's hard to look at the comments because I got the camera down on the console. I don't have it up here where I can see it. Yeah, no, I'm like at the end of the highway already. So we made some pretty good time. It's about 5 or 10 minutes of winding on the canyon road that I'm there. So this ain't gonna be. I ain't gonna do the live for much longer. I need to shut it down pretty soon, about 5-10 minutes. And thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. What's going on here? Okay. Yep. And I'm actually getting there not too late, a little bit late, but got to jump out and move a bunch of shit around. Got to haul the target stands out and all that stuff. So I mean, they'll probably have already started building the range, but as soon as I get there, I'm going to jump in and help move shit around and build the range, because that's what we do, is build it and then tear it down, so it doesn't stay up. It's in the pistol bays at a local gun club. And usually I try to get there right like an hour before, so there's time to help build the shit. But I wasn't, I was trying not to wake up before 7, but as it was, I did wake up at about 9:45 till. But I just figured I wouldn't do as much build out of the course before, but I would just, do more tear down, which I think is relatively legit, but usually I'd go and do both. And it is 38 here, but it feels colder. Glad I brought some gloves. Is the proper range better than just shooting in the desert? So I think it is for me. And a lot of guys like shooting in the desert. They don't want to do this activity with other people around. First of all, there ain't no desert here; it's forest, because we're in the northwest. Well, there is if you go over the mountain, then you're in the desert. But there's this longer a certain intention, right? So you're building skills. They kind of build little twists and turns into it, and you don't know what the problem is going to be, but there's probably some kind of tactical issue that needs to be addressed. A lot of times they'll have some hidden target around a little bit of a corner that you got to duck around, or you got to shoot it from a different position, or they have hostages. There's just a lot more equipment here than most people are going to have and bring out and set up on their own. Just in terms of targets and barricades and shit like that. So, and you can spend a lot of money to do this on your own, but to build the courses and shit, you'd have a lot, and I've got some steel targets of my own and can set them up, but, besides pulling a couple of steel targets out of your truck and throwing them up in the, in the desert or the pit or whatever you're doing, you ain't going to set up targets like this, and you ain't going to set up courses like this. And, I think you're just going to learn a different skill set, and probably a more defined or refined skill set. You're going to learn more shit, and it's going to be a lot easier of a setup to do it. Because, it's an organization, and you got 65 guys humping up, building the course and tearing it down. But it's also slow. You don't get nearly the amount of shooting in. And I signed up for this one in the December one a few weeks ago, and if I wasn't already signed up, I probably wouldn't go. It's another reason, doing shit solo in the hills, in the desert, it doesn't work. It's too easy to fucking sleep in. You're like, no, it's fucking cold out. I'm staying home. But if I hadn't paid for this shit, I would definitely be. That's what I would be. If I hadn't paid in advance, I wouldn't be out here doing it at 7 in the morning. I'd be home in bed saying, yeah, maybe I'll swing out around 11. Just go for an hour or two. So it's not that it's a proper range. I mean, the range is just the range, but, doing a PSL or a USPSA. USPSA is like super, last time I checked into it, they've got like 2-day matches, and that's a lot more hurry up and wait than a 1-day match. But yeah, the USPSA out here is super overrun. So I don't even do it. The pistol steel comps are pretty good, and the setup and teardown for those isn't too bad. And I think that, to me, that's about the level of skill that you might ever need with a pistol. On a timer, draw from a holster, and do, 5 shots on target on 5 different targets. That's, target acquisition and shooting. I think if you can run and gun with a pistol, you'll be very good with a pistol. And even in steel, you get plenty of pistol malfunctions. You got to get good at manipulating your controls and everything, and dropping mags and all the shit, getting your gun up and running and back in the fight. But I think if you can be good at USPSA, then you will be good with a pistol if you ever need to. But 2 guns like USPSA, but with an AR and or whatever semi-auto you want to run. There's guys out there doing it with Mini 14s and all kinds of cool stuff. But and I always liked my ARs, but I never got to shoot them. And shooting them at a range is okay, but this stuff, like, once I started doing this, I had a whole other level of appreciation for the AR, and now I just fucking love it because it's such an amazing gun. And it's so damn versatile, and it's fucking incredible. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot what the question is. And I have a few. I'll probably shoot my 16-inch, but I brought a 10.5 suppressed, or 11. I don't know. I think it's an 11-inch. And it's the AR shooting 5.56, but I have a 30 cal dead air Sandman on it, which cuts the noise down some, but it's not covering the supersonic 5.56 completely. It's not like shooting 300 black, but that's still, I packed that one up last night, and for what it is, even with the can, it's still really light. But I'll probably pull the 16. Also, because it's got the rattle can most closely matches my outfit. All right, I'm going to shut it. I'm at the range. I'm going to shut it down now and go do this thing, and I'll hopefully have some videos to post today. Thank y'all for tuning in with me.